The Shadow Letter Carrier. Twilight stretched its pale fingers across the sky as you sat in the quiet hum of your home, the evening settling like dust on forgotten pages. The day had been uneventful, another one slipping by without remarkable consequence. You were contemplating whether to start dinner when a knock, light, deliberate, rapped against your door. A chill crept into your spine. This was not the familiar knock of a neighbor, nor the eager thump of a friend. It was measured, purposeful, and came from a presence you could not yet name. Cautiously, you approached and opened the door. There was no one. Just the dusky street, the whisper of wind curling through the trees, and the soft hush of a world preparing for night. Yet, as you glanced down, your breath caught, a sealed envelope, resting precisely at your threshold. You bent to pick it up. The paper was thick, heavier than any ordinary letter, and the ink scrawled across the front was unfamiliar but strangely intimate. To the one who will understand. Your pulse quickened. Was this a mistake? You turned the envelope over, half expecting some indication of who had sent it, an address, a name, a clue, but found only a wax seal, pressed deep with an emblem that looked like a wisp of smoke curling into oblivion. Something inside you hesitated, but curiosity was a force too strong to ignore. You tore the seal and unfolded the paper inside. My final words belong to someone else, yet they have found you. If they mean nothing, discard them. If they mean everything, then perhaps they were meant for you after all. The letter began in elegant, flowing script, as if written with careful precision. Your eyes followed the words, the weight of them pressing into your mind. There was a time when I believed my life was my own, that every step I took, every mistake I made, was uniquely mine. I was wrong. We are all footprints in a path that others have already walked, and in turn, others will follow. There is no true solitude, no act without consequence. I was given this understanding too late. If you are reading this, you still have time. I have spent my final days unraveling secrets I should never have known. They are not mine to keep, but neither are they mine to give away. So I leave only this, an acknowledgement that we are all threads in the same pattern, that you are closer to knowing than you think. I hope you choose wisely. The shadow that carried this letter to you will not return. I wish it could. Your heart drummed against your ribs. This wasn't a mistake, was it? It was meant for you. Even though you had never encountered these words before, they resonated in a way that was undeniable. You looked back toward the door, expecting, hoping, to see someone standing there. The messenger who had delivered this to you, the shadow who had knocked. But the street remained empty. The air was still. You reread the letter, the ink seeming darker now, heavier as the weight of its meaning settled onto your shoulders. What secrets were these? What truth had the writer unraveled too late? And why? Why had it found its way to you? The thought crept into your mind like a whisper you couldn't ignore. Perhaps you already knew the answer. Perhaps, without realizing it, you had been waiting for this letter your whole life. As night unfurled, you sat with the letter in your hands, its presence shifting the quiet into something deeper, something unsettled. The shadow had come and gone, but the words remained. And now, the choice belonged to you. Would you discard them? Or would you embrace the unknown and search for what was waiting beyond the twilight? Chapter 2. Beyond the Twilight. The letter weighed heavy in your hands, its meaning pressing into your thoughts like ink bleeding into fabric. You had expected fear, hesitation, you had expected doubt. Instead, there was only an unspoken certainty. You would not discard it. You could not. The air had grown colder, not from the shifting temperature, but from the unseen presence lingering in its wake. The shadow that had delivered the letter was gone, but you felt it, felt them, as if their absence had left an imprint upon your threshold. Your fingers tightened around the edges of the paper. There was only one path forward. You stood, retrieving your coat before stepping into the night. The street stretched long and silent before you, the glow of street lamps spilling pools of amber into the darkened pavement. The world felt unchanged, as if your revelation meant nothing to its quiet pulse. Yet you had changed. You walked, not knowing exactly where you were going, only that you could not stay still. The words of the letter clung to your mind. I was given this understanding too late. If you are reading this, you still have time. Time for what? Time to learn, to uncover, to understand? Your steps carried you down the familiar path toward the old bookstore at the corner, an unassuming place, tucked between aging buildings, its sign weathered from years of unnoticed existence. You had been here before, many times, but tonight, something pulled you toward it with new urgency. The door creaked as you stepped inside. The scent of old paper wrapped around you, the warmth of dim lamps casting a golden hue over shelves lined with books, volumes filled with history, knowledge, forgotten voices waiting to be heard. The store was empty, except for the lone figure behind the counter. An old man. You had seen him countless times, exchanged pleasantries, but had never truly spoken. Tonight, however, his gaze met yours with something different. Recognition. Not of you exactly, but of something in you. You've received the letter, he said, his voice rasping with age. Your breath hitched. You did not ask how he knew. You did not ask who had sent it. Because deep down, you had already understood. You were walking a path tread before you, stepping into a story that had always been waiting. Tell me, you said quietly. Tell me what comes next. The old man sighed, setting his hands atop the counter, as though weighing the gravity of his next words. And then, in the quiet of the bookstore, as twilight melted fully into night, he began. Chapter 3. The Truth in the Shadows. The old man's fingers traced the grain of the wooden counter, his eyes distant, as if he were gazing into the past rather than the present. The lamps above cast soft rings of light, illuminating the dust swirling lazily in the air. You waited, your pulse steady but expectant, knowing that whatever came next would not be simple. It has happened before, he murmured. A letter, a shadow, a choice, always the same but never quite alike. You swallowed, the weight of those words settling in. What does it mean? The man's gaze met yours, sharp yet weary. It means you're part of something now, something that began long before you were aware of it. Your fingers tightened around the edge of the letter in your coat pocket. You think it was meant for you, the old man continued, his voice steady. And perhaps it was. Or perhaps, like all before you, you have simply found yourself standing at the doorway of something unknown. Your breath was shallow now, anticipation threading through you like a silent current. But what is it? You asked. What does the letter, what do I, have to do with any of it? The old man exhaled, slow and deliberate. It is a message, he said. Not just to you, but to the ones who came before, to the ones who will come after. The shadow who delivered it. They are only a messenger. The real answer is in what you choose to do next. The words settled into the silence between you. This was not about the letter itself, not just about the final words of some unknown soul. It was about the choice, the acknowledgement that you had stepped into something beyond mere coincidence. Something waiting. You turned the letter over in your hands once more, as if hoping the paper itself might give away its secrets. And what did you choose? You asked the old man. His lips curved slightly, a knowing, quiet smile. I never received the letter, he admitted, and his voice was heavy with something more than regret. I only waited for the ones who did. Your throat tightened. This was your path now. Not his, not anyone else's. Your fingers curled around the letter one last time, as twilight gave way to true darkness, and the bookstore hummed with the weight of unseen stories. You knew, with certainty, that you had already made your choice. And there was no turning back.